because we are just about to start. All right, so let's begin by defining what we have. We gave several definitions over the past few weeks or days. For those of you who've been following in the last 25 days, have done back to back all kinds of trainings. You can access them on the YouTube channel. So this is one definition I want us to explore today. We'll look at two definitions of financial intelligence, or you can also call it financial IQ or financial quotient, your financial quotient. And we said that we have emotional quotient, we have different kinds of intelligence or intelligences, as Howard Gardner, the professor in Harvard University calls it. But financial intelligence is one of those intelligence that very few people have or have developed to such a degree. So write this down. Financial intelligence is your ability to have your passive income handle all your expenses. Your passive income handle all your expenses. What does that mean? What does passive income mean? Actually, this is when you have achieved financial freedom. Financial freedom is when your passive income can handle all your expenses. Financial freedom is when your passive income can handle all your needs, not your wants. When all of the bills that you have, all of those bills that can be very bothering, like rents, like, food, all of those things, school fees, is handled effectively by your passive income. You are not only financially intelligent, you are financially free. So we're going to look at certain definitions like what passive income is, and you understand the power of passive income, and then we'll go on from there. We'll also compare it to active income. Look at what Warren Buffett says about financial intelligence or passive income, as it were. He says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Oh my God. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. You will actively work until you die. You need to be able to find a way to make money while you are sleeping. While you are in your bed, there should be a way you are making money. And that's what we want to discuss today. How can you activate that process? Whether you don't have to be involved in the process, you don't have to be actively involved, yet you are making money, yet your wallet is receiving an alert, yet your bank account is receiving an alert. You wake up to alert. So let's define what passive income is. Passive income is a recurring revenue stream that requires little to no effort or time to maintain. Passive income is a recurring revenue stream that requires little to no effort or time to maintain. Okay, that's a striking one. Let's look at another definition. Passive income is money which flows in regular intervals without the need for putting in a considerable amount of effort to create it. Passive income is money which flows in regular intervals without the need for putting in a considerable amount of efforts to create it. What that means is that you are not working as much. Meanwhile, this money keeps coming in again and again in regular intervals. So some people have defined passive income to also be residual income. Some people have defined passive income to become residual income. Residual income has to do with that regular intervals of money just dropping in, maybe every day. Somebody asked a fellow, would you prefer to get 50 million naira cash or 150,000 naira every day for the rest of your life? And the man was like, no, let me get 50 million naira cash. And the other fellow was like, no, let me get 150,000 naira every day for the rest of my life. Because with 50 million naira cash, what you experience is a cash pool. It's a massive cash pool. And you may make very wrong decisions. By the time you recover, I don't know, some people who are smart enough, they've developed their intelligence and their capacity to handle 50 million. Some other people may not be able to handle it. In fact, with 50 million naira hitting their accounts, they are dead. I mean, I remember the time when I saw my bank alert, and my bank alert had 10 million naira. I couldn't sleep. I mean, just years ago, like, it had 10 million. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, whoa, George, you have 10 million in your bank account. I was thinking, my head was going gagas, going gagas. And some people here have not had that experience before. I also remember one of those days I was having a conversation with some very wealthy people, and we're having dinner in a lush hotel. And that conversation we started talking about properties they had bought and at 14 million or 20 million. I'm like, whoa. And I was also the youngest there. And I couldn't engage in the conversation. My head was like, George, this is not the space you should be for now. But again, I was in that space because I wanted to grow and I also wanted to learn. So some people, they will receive that kind of money in their bank accounts and they will literally crash. But so they won't be able to handle it. But for some other people, that residual income coming again and again, even if they make mistakes the first 1 week or 2 weeks, they will be able to get knowledge enough or get advice to be able to handle the subsequent ones that come. So some people call passive income residual income. There's nothing as powerful as residual income. But some financial experts also differentiate between passive income and residual income. Passive income, basically the core of passive income, the philosophy surrounding passive income is that you don't have to be involved. You don't have to be actively involved for it to happen for you. So it can be once, it can be twice, it can be not as regular. But residual income, the focus and the philosophy around residual income is that there is a repetition or a repeat order or a frequency to it. That's the difference between passive income and residual income. The similarity is that in both passive and residual income, you don't have to be actively involved at a certain point. When you're not actively involved, you're receiving passive income, and that passive income is also residual. I hope this is clear. That defines what passive. So let's look at a few things that can help you become to get passive income. Now, this is why you need to have money. This is why you need to raise money, because the truth is that one way to have passive income is to invest in bonds. Every now and then, governments of nations go into contracts with their citizenry and with anyone who cares to participate. They tell the people, you know what, we have a bill or we have a bond. Come and sign a contract with us. Every so and so period, we will give you XYZ amount. Give us money. Let us go and build infrastructure. Give us money. Let us do certain stuff in the country. At the end of the day, we will give you XYZ percentage. There is an agreement that is legal and that is binding. And because it's legal and it's binding, the government has to do it. And there are people who have the Nigerian government bonds. All right. So bonds are usually associated with governments, and Ghana and Kenya and America, they have government bonds. It's a contract they have with citizenry who want to invest. So the government borrows that money from the citizenry aside their tax and invests in properties, infrastructure, and then the proceeds is now shared with them. So you need to have money so that whenever the government releases this kind of circulants, it's not always public most of the times. You have to have your ears to the ground. You have to have one or two persons to be able to invest in government bonds. Treasury bills is similar, just that treasury bills is more associated with corporate organizations. Corporate organizations also want to sign a contract with you, so you can get involved in bonds. Stocks is also another very way you can receive passive income. And again, with the government bonds, once you have invested that money with the government or with that organization, you are not actively involved. The government goes ahead, does the business, and then you receive what is called dividends. You receive a certificate for your bond certificate, and then you also receive dividends on maybe a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. You just receive dividends. Same thing with stocks. Companies at some point, want you to buy stocks. That's how Facebook was capitalized in 2012, Amazon or Amazon, whatever, stocks, the stock market is a place where it is regulated, but you can also invest in stocks. Again, you need money. In those days, it was the stock market. You need a lot of money to play in that market and to earn good at the end of the year. Sometimes I invested in stocks, and I know that at a certain point in my life, I was receiving some small dividends. That is also passive income. And that way you can see passive income is in rental properties. Maybe you have built a house. I told you yesterday that building a house just for living on your own is not an asset, because the house will continue to deteriorate and you will have to spend money to maintain it. So I told that liability is anything that you possess that takes away money from you and has high maintenance value. For some of you, maintaining that big house you built is paying all the gas, protecting yourself, fueling, generator, the wear and tear of the house. Again, that is not thinking wise, because you want to save rent. Because you want to save rent, you're now investing in a liability that you're spending as much to maintain. Why don't you go stay in a rented apartment and build that place as a lock-up flat, or as flats, or make it shops, or make it a mall, and then give it out for rentage? So that, like I told you, that rich people don't invest in luxury. If they're going to invest in any luxury, they need to have an asset stream that can fund the luxury. So rentals is another very fantastic way to always think in terms of rent. Are you collecting rent? Are you building properties, or are you buying properties? And there are certain organizations that allow you to have certain cooperatives, and I'm sure that eCooperative eventually will get you to that point where they're involved in either buying a property, renovating a property, or building a property, and then they'll make that place different houses. And because you are a member of the cooperative, because you have invested in that venture, in that real estate, when the proceeds come out, based on how much you've invested, you get a token. So you are also getting rentals. It's passive. You're doing your business. Meanwhile, your bank is receiving a lot at a certain period of time. Royalties is for those people who are in the music industry. Royalties are for those people who are in the writing industry, or in the anything that has to do with your intellectual property, your IP. Maybe you wrote a book and the proceeds, most of you self-publish. That is not passive income. Self-publishing is active income, because you have to go about and sell the book. You have to launch the book. But passive income is when you give a publisher, maybe in America or in Dubai or in China. My company is involved in publishing. I do some kind of publishing. I have a printing press. And so, publishing, we publish for people. And then the company is not just involved in printing the books. It's also involved in launching and in promoting the book. All right. So there are organizations like that. When they now give you proceeds, they start giving you proceeds from it. Or you have a record label that buys up your musical rights and then, pays you money. That is every year. I heard that Fela Kuti receives close or much more. I don't know. The time I heard, it was $30,000 every year. For the last 30 years, Fela Kuti's family receives $30,000 in royalties for the selling of the Fela Kuti records. You can imagine the Bob Marleys, what they keep receiving long after they're gone. Every time a radio station plays it, every time, even movies. And that's why you see, again, let me just share this give you financial wisdom. If you're an actor, a movie actor, you see some actors, when they want to act, they go to meet the director, tell the director, pay me money. My money is 1 million or 2 million naira. The director says, okay, no problem. The director pays them, signs the contract with them, and pays them 2 million naira for that movie. So the director or the executive director will produce the movie, and then for the rest of his life, every time that movie is watched in the cinemas or streamed or sold, the director of that particular movie keeps earning for a lifetime. That is both passive and residual income. Meanwhile, what the stupid actor did was that he just went, did a movie shoot, was paid, and he left. Meanwhile, his face is shown all over the world again and again. There are certain movies that have been very hot cake for years, watching different, and yet it's the director that earns the money. The actor was only paid once. He was not smart enough to understand the power of passive income. So these days, what a lot of actors do is that when they know they have star power, and they don't come and negotiate fees, they will negotiate duration. They don't negotiate fees, they negotiate duration. They negotiate how long they will keep earning royalties. They think in terms of royalties and not just their professional fee. That's another level of thinking. And I want to I say, look, wealth is not measured in amounts. Wealth is measured in duration. What do I mean by that? It means that it's not the amount of money that you have that determines how wealthy you are. It's how long the money remains with you and how long the money keeps entering your accounts. The consistency, the residual nature of the money you're making is what truly defines your wealth, not the amount of money you have in your account. So royalties is another very powerful way to raise money. If you're in the writing industry, the speaking industry, that will make sense. Right. For example, if you're on ecooperative.africa and the e-commerce platform comes, you can create and you're registered. So once you've registered in ecooperative, you're registered for life. There's no need to re-register again. You are just there. So you put in your, at least for now, the information we have is that once you're registered for life. You're not registering, you're not re-registering again and again. You're not the thing is not cancelled. So you can put up the place for courses, the place for intellectual properties you can put there, and people will keep buying. Every time you share or advertise that link, somebody sees it, all right, and keeps paying for it, paying for you. That is also a kind of residual income. Affiliate marketing is also very interesting. If you have people sell your products and then they get a proceed and you get a proceed for it, they help you sell a product, that also is where you can receive passive income and residual income. Drop shipping is also another fantastic way. I discussed what drop shipping is yesterday. I said that drop shipping is another kind of e-commerce, just that you're not involved in stocking or stockpiling the products. The company directly deals with the customer. The customer deals with you, pays you the money, asks you for the order, you reach out to the company, tell the company what to do, the company packages the product and sends straight to the customer without you having any inventory or having any stock. That is what drop shipping is all about. And that is passive because you're not really involved in knowing the details of how logistics of how things are moved. That is a form of drop shipping, and a form of passive income. Another way you can see passive income is in network marketing. Now, at the beginning of your network marketing business, at the beginning of your e-cooperative business, you will see that you will need to be actively involved in building your team, actively involved in building your 4, actively involved in making sure the 16 are good, actively involved in making sure 16 are good. But at a certain point, it will not be your effort that allows you to receive alerts. It will not be the effort that you put in that allows you to receive alerts. So I'd say that when it comes to network marketing, active income can come before passive income. In fact, as a matter of fact, you will have to be actively involved in setting up the business proceed eventually. I hope this is clear about passive income. All right. So there are 4 types of passive income. You can buy cash flowing assets. In other words, you can look for money and buy cash flowing assets. Again, for you to play in that terrain, you need to have money. You really need to have money. So before you can become an investor, you need to engage a system that can help you generate money for you to play, for you to go to buy investments or properties. All right. Another way to raise funds is to build cash flowing assets. To build cash flowing asset means that you start off actively building a business, actively building a network marketing business, actively involved in it, building it, or maybe you have a website, you're building it, you're taking your time to build it, so that in the long run, it now becomes passive. It's like turning the wheel and doing all the work. After a while, the wheel begins to run by itself. That is build a cash flowing asset. It's possible to do it. It takes you some time, some intelligence, or some skill. But again, it will involve your energy initially, then it becomes passive. Then another form of passive income is called, you can share or sell assets. You can share assets. You can have assets that you sell off, and the asset, gives you resources. And then the next one is called reverse passive income. Reserve passive income means that when you cut down on your expenses, when you try to cut down on your expenses so that you can save the thing you've cut down, you cut down your expenses, that pattern is called reverse passive income. I hope this is clear. All right. So what is active income? Like we've already explained, active income means you are performing tasks related to your job or career and getting paid for it. The thing that makes active income is that you are there. And we said something about time. So you can actually be self-employed. You can actually be a quote unquote business person or an entrepreneur, and you're still giving your time. You're trading your time in order to get money. That is active income. And the thing about why I don't really encourage active income mindset is because you are still trading your time. You have to creatively find a way not to trade your time, where you can leverage time, where you can work with other people so that a rich man doesn't have 24 hours. A rich man has the number of people, the time of the number of people that he works with. Let me give you an example. You have 24 hours of your time, but Dangote does not have 24 hours of his time. Dangote has, if he has 24,000 people that work for him in a day, means that he has 24,000 hours. So he's leveraging other people's time. And because of that, he enjoys passive income because of that. That means he's not actively involved. So when you want to enjoy passive income, you need to understand the concept of leverage, especially leveraging people's time. So active income means you are performing tasks related to the job or career and getting paid for it. Active income takes up your time. Passive income allows you to earn money with minimal effort. So I hope this is clear. Now let's go into one more definition of financial intelligence that is very vital, that you must fully understand as you make progress in your life. And it is this. We said that financial intelligence is when your passive income can handle all of your expenses. And so what I want you to do in the next few days, and what we're encouraging you to do, is to join businesses that would eventually enable you to create passive income. Passive income. First, initially, you may be active, but in the long run, it becomes passive. So let's write down this definition down. This is very important. Financial intelligence is your ability to manage, multiply, preserve, and pass on your money. We just said something about this yesterday. A lot of people say it's ability to make money, manage money, multiply money. We added two more: preserve and pass it on. Now, because some of you are saying, George, you're talking about managing your money, you're talking about investing your money. How do I make this money? What is the way to make money? What's the signs? What's the signs of making money? So I'm going to share a few ways to making money so that we can take that out of the way. Any man who wants to make money must learn how to create value. It's as easy as that. What does it mean to create value? To create value means to solve problems. The more problems you're able to solve, the more money you're able to make. The more complicated the problems you solve, the more money you're able to make. The more consistently you're able to solve complicated problems, the more money you're able to make. Value is anything that solves problems. Value is anything that provides solution. Value is anything that saves time. Value is anything that delivers faster. Value is anything that delivers with speed. So anything that you can do, any product or service, anything that you have that can solve problems, save people money, and give people joy, happiness, entertainment, all right, save them time, deliver faster, is called value, and you can create value. When you create value, it means that you're creating something out of nothing. You are a creator, you are an inventor. The man who creates value is an inventor. He creates something out of nothing. He's an engineer, he's a genius, he creates something out of nothing. But another way to do it, if you cannot create value, you can add value. What does it mean to add value? To add value is to look at already existing solutions and problem-solving products and try to make it better, try to make it faster. Like you can look at the dry cleaning industry and say to yourself, how can I sell this thing better? Or how can I package this thing better? How can I make this thing sweeter? What direction? How do I enter the market in a better way? When you add value to an already existing business, an already existing product, an already existing service, you are adding value. So when you create value, you're called an inventor. When you are adding value, you're called an innovator. When you create value, you're called an inventor. But when you are adding value, you're called an innovator. Okay, does that seem complex to you? Let's take it a little simpler. How do you make money? You sell something. Every time you don't have money in your pocket, it's as a result of the fact that you are not selling. And I've told you not to trade your time. Please, if you're just joining in this group, I'd like you to mute your sound or you will be kicked out. If you're just joining the group now, be careful to watch your audio, mute your sound, or you will be kicked out. So you sell something. That's the fastest way to be an entrepreneur. That's the fastest way to be an entrepreneur. You sell something. Look for what you can sell. If you're just joining this group, please mute your sound or you will be kicked out. Mute your sound or you'll be kicked out. All right, so the fastest way to raise money is to sell your product, to sell your service, to sell your skill, to sell your ideas. Another thing you can do sometimes is to sell off certain assets to create a bigger asset. So you can start by selling a property in order to be able to invest in your business. You can sell something. An asset is anything that you possess that brings money to you. You can liquidate an asset so that you can have money to create or build another bigger asset. So that's how to raise money. That's how to make money. There are many more other ways. Another thing you can do to raise money or to make money per se is to liquidate your liability in order to invest in an asset. So that sounds like big grammar, right? Let me simplify it for you. What that simply means is that what do you consider as a liability in your life? What are those things? Is it your car? Sometimes you may need to sell off your car in order to raise money to launch a business, to start your e-com business, to start your drop shipping business, to start your shop. You may need to sell off your car to join that business, to join that network marketing business or something. Now, somebody told me, a lady came to me the other day and said she wants to start a business. When I looked up from her head to her toe, she was looking very good. She was telling me she doesn't have any money. And I told her, go to your closet and check your closet out. You will be surprised to know that there's so much, the capital that you seek for the business that you want to start is probably in your closet. Now, a person who is financially intelligent and who wants to make money will not be afraid to liquidate things that have high maintenance value or things that are just serving as luxuries are unnecessary. Liquidate them. Even if it has to do with jewelry that she considers as value, she can liquidate them in order to build a better asset, knowing that in the future she'll earn more. I mean, I've heard the story of P Square selling off their car so that they can invest in their album. That is, you can liquidate your liability in order to invest in an asset. Another way to raise money or to make money is to sell somebody's product. Maybe you're saying to yourself, I don't have a product to sell. I don't have a service to sell. So become an affiliate. An affiliate is somebody who takes another person's products and sell. And it's very easy. I told you that a salesperson doesn't like a job. Walk up to any organization, any shop, and tell them, guys, give me your catalog, give me your list, let me snap pictures, and I will go and sell for you. When I sell, I will get a little commission. All right. I don't want salary, just give me commission, because actually commission is greater than salary. So you sell somebody's product. Another way to make money is to sell a proven system. What is a system? A system, like multi-level marketing, is a proven system. A system is something that is reliable, trusted, and has been worked. People have used it to achieve certain levels of result. So you need to identify a system, and the network marketing model has been there for more than 60 years and is a proven system. So you can pick up a system, a network marketing system, and sell it and drive it. And from that system that is proven, you money you're looking for. Franchising is a proven system. Distributorship is a proven system. These are the various ways you can make money. So how do you now manage money? Because it's one thing to make a lot of money, it's an entirely different thing to manage the money that you have made. So there are guys who are very good at making money, but they don't know how to manage the money they have made. So the first thing you want to consider when you want to manage money is you have to understand the law called Parkinson's law. And you need to overcome Parkinson's law when you make money. Because in eCooperative, if you join the business and you're very smart, and you can make 4.6 million naira. But you see, sometimes if you're not careful, because the money is not coming as 4.6 million naira at once, because it's coming as passive income, because it's coming as residual income, you can end up using it to meet your needs. And so we often would tell people that if you want to see how much money you've really made in your e-cooperative business or in any business that you have done, you need to have a savings account that you cannot touch. You need to have a savings account that you don't have an ATM card. You need to have a savings account that you don't even have an app for transfer. You need to be able to put your money in such a way that it is difficult for you to liquidate, like having a cryptocurrency app where it's difficult for you, the transaction time and all of that may delay you and you may change your mind at once. You need to have that kind of thing. In fact, there are some people that do what is called the escrow system. They have identified coaches and mentors who they have decided to be their coach, and they hand over their ATM or they hand it over and say, you know what, sir, I don't want to be touching this money. I either put it in your account or I put it in my account, but hold me accountable. I don't want to be touching this money because I have a project to do. So the first thing you must understand about Parkinson's law is this. Parkinson's law states that that expenses rise to meet income. Every time you have income in your pocket, expenses rise to meet it. Like money is like aroma. When you're cooking a goosey or you're cooking okra, or you're cooking a wedu, or you're cooking afang, you're cooking edikaikong, or you're cooking banga, it doesn't matter where it begins to smell. Money is like smoke. It will come out of the hay and people will begin to smell it. So you notice that when you have 1 million, 2 million in your account, one uncle that didn't call you for years will suddenly start calling you. He will remember your number and he will call you. You start wondering, how did this person know that I have this kind of money? And that's when people will start telling you about all the problems that they have, because money has an aroma. So that is Parkinson's law appearing. You suddenly notice that when you have more money, you have more taste for certain things. Your ability to curb your appetite, to hold yourself down and to say, is called Parkinson's law. So how do you overcome Parkinson's law and manage the resources you have? The first thing is that you must have a strict routine savings program. You must develop a savings program that disciplines you. W. Clement Stone says that the man who does not save does not have the seed of greatness in him. You've got the seed of greatness. By that he means discipline. You've got to put aside money in an account that you don't touch. I was speaking to a multi-level marketer from a top organization that's based in China and now in Nigeria, and they're selling products. And she was telling me in the conversation we had that she has an account for the last 6 years that she has never touched, that she puts in hundreds of thousands of naira on a weekly basis that she has not touched. She has put a standing order to the banker, that bank. Well, that's her own method, that she has not touched the money. And it said it can be in the hundreds of millions, because she was telling me about it. Some money from the business and she keeps that money aside just in case of emergency, just in case of anything, just in case she has that money saved. She has the discipline. She said she's actually going to develop the discipline of saving, and that's why the escrow account philosophy, or the place where you can put money without touching it, is very important. What do? I keep my money in USDT. If I want to save money, I save money in cryptocurrency, in USDT, maybe not in Bitcoin. USDT is not volatile. It's a stable coin. So I save my money aggressively. I could have thousands of dollars aggressively saved there. And I make sure I cannot easily hold that money. And that's why the BitNop part of eCooperative enables you to download BitNop and to save in USDT. If you're someone who is interested in any more, you can save in Bitcoin. Of course, that one is volatile. It can go up, sometimes it can come down. Another way to overcome Parkinson's law is to stick to your budget, to always have a budget. Don't be a spontaneous spender. Don't go to a place. My wife always tells me, George, you're always asking for a list. Oh, what is your listing? This is your listing. It is the philosophy that I put in my system. I may have $1 million. I'm not spending it like that. I'm not allowing the pressures of life to make me spend. I can have 2 million, 3 million, and I'm quietly managing myself. I understand the power and the pressure of Parkinson's law. Now, for example, Parkinson's law, how do you overcome Parkinson's law? Maybe, for example, you're earning 100,000 or 200,000 monthly. That's what you've been earning every month. Every month you earn 200,000. Every month you earn 200,000. All of a sudden, you had a financial jolt. You now had 500K. Your money moved from 200K to 500K to maybe 700K. You suddenly notice that your desires and for things will start changing. You want to start maybe buy a new, better car, get new clothes because you've earned more. Now, so that's Parkinson's law coming to pay, like trying to take all the money away. And so what you do in that case is that you stick to your budget, or you must say, okay, we are earning 200,000 has been taking care of us so far. Now we have a jolt in our finances. We can increase our level of standard of living to maybe 300K, so that we can take the 400K profits and save it in an undisclosed place that can stockpile eventually for a massive investment. Coming back, so this thing I'm teaching you, all right, other ways to manage money, to manage real money, is to buy in bulk. A consciousness of buying in bulk. When you buy in bulk, you buy cheaper. Remember what I talked about financial intelligence? Financial intelligence is your ability to buy cheap and to sell high. So you buy in bulk. If you buy things in bulk, save yourself money, and that shows that you're managing. That's the financial management strategy, to buy in bulk. Another thing that you want to do in order not to spend quickly, I discussed this briefly yesterday, is to convert liquidity into assets. Liquidity is the money you have in your bank. Liquidity is the cash, the currency, the cash you have. It's called currency. It is this go out to be spent. So you want to quickly convert that money you have in your account, so that Parkinson's law doesn't come over you. You want to convert that liquidity into tangible assets, or into things that you can eventually liquidate. Because when you knowing that an asset will bring you more money to you, the chances of increasing your value. So you see certain people, they have bulk money, they go and buy a land. They don't know what to do with money, just go and buy. Don't know what to do, just go and buy cryptocurrency and keep, or just go and buy stocks, or they buy some asset. It can be any kind of asset. It can be government bonds. Just buy it and keep, and not have all, like the man who is a trader who just go and buy goods and keep, who go and stock his market with goods and leave it like that. Or maybe not stock his market, go and pay ahead for product that he doesn't need to have yet to the supplier. So the supplier is owing him, has that product. So it's converting liquidity to asset immediately. Another thing that you want to learn to do that is important when it comes to finances is your accounting. You don't need to be a big organization to have accounting. You can start with your small business. I can tell you for a certain that by God's grace, I run the amount, every single dime that is spent down to the last 5 naira that is ever spent in my organization and even spent in my life is recorded. It's a discipline I started having since 2008. All right. But Jesus Christ said that he that is faithful in little is faithful in much. Not will be, is faithful in much. If you cannot handle 10,000 naira, you cannot handle 100,000 naira. If you cannot handle 1 million naira, you cannot handle 50 million naira. The way you treat one thing is the way you treat everything. The way you treat 1 million naira is the way you treat 10 million naira. So with the little money you're making, manage it very well. With the little 8K, know how to save. Even when you receive 8K from those 4 persons, what do you do with it? Do you record it? Do you keep it? Do you save it? Do you do something with it? The next thing you want to do as much as possible is to reduce your debt. Now, there's another way to multiply your money, and we're going to stop there today. The next way to multiply your money is to invest in consumables. To invest in consumables is to invest in tangible products, and as you invest in tangible products, okay, I'm not yet done. Okay, so let me see if I can go over that. Okay, I just have one more slide to do. Let's see. So invest in tangible products, in consumable products that are tangible, that can easily go. Why are you investing in consumables? You're in high repeat order. It has frequency of sales. So if you're selling on the eCooperative platform, you don't want to sell something that doesn't have high repeat order. Of course, it has to be valuable first. It has to have huge volume. You must have volume available. You must have reach out to a large number of people, and there must be frequency in the business that you are working on. Does it make sense? Then we'll discuss the power of compound interest. The power of compound interest says that as you make returns, as on your investment, rather than you take out the money, you allow it to compound, to stay with the capital or the already existing principal, and then you reinvest it again. And like that, so you can compound your monies. The money from the investment you're doing, you can compound it, or what they call, sometimes you can compound, you can top up just to compound. That's a very powerful way to earn money is to compound, multiply the resources you're looking for. Another way to multiply the resources you're looking for is through network marketing. Like only with 2K only, you can raise as much as 4.6 million, and that's with a team of people and with effective leadership, you can raise that kind of money. All right, so let me go quickly about preserving. And I told you yesterday that there was an intelligence associated with this kind of thing. So if you mention quickly two things, let's talk about it briefly, is that first of all, you need to understand the power of insurance. If I ask you listening to me today, do you have insurance? Give me good information. Maybe before we end this 30 days, we're going to bring an expert to help us understand the insurance dimension. I'm also going to bring an expert that will help us understand the retirement funds dimension. Are you planning for a retirement? You don't have to be an old person to start thinking a retirement person. You don't even have to be actively working. You can start planning for retirement. You can start with 2K, 10K. You can have a plan for your retirement where you have built a certain system that your passive income care of you through your old age and still take care of your children. And the Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. A good man leaves inheritance for his children. And that's what I want to leave you with today. I want you to understand. Let me see if people are even watching, whether I'm talking to myself or, okay, I'm talking to myself. Okay, I'm not talking to myself. Am I making sense? Let me know if I'm making any kind of sense at all. Let me just know from the comment section. Let me know you're making, just right, George, you're making sense, you're making sense, you're making sense. All right. Mark Prince, yes, sir. You're making sense. All right. So, okay. Yes, let me know I'm making sense. Let me know I'm making sense. All right. All right. Let's know I'm making a lot of. All right, thank you. So this is the deal, man. This is the deal. This thing that I'm teaching you, I'm also learning. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm also learning and learning this. I've told you financial intelligence is financial intelligence is MP squared. Or we can say financial intelligence is M3P squared. MP3 squared. So we're going to look at tomorrow, we're going to look at a very important part and not just making money, risk management. Now, I don't know if you are here. Please tell me if you are here and you have had a very nasty experience with Forex. Write down in the comment section, I've had a nasty experience with Forex. If you're here, just write down in the comments, I've had a nasty experience. Maybe somebody has collected money from you at a certain point and told you about a certain business that was involved in Forex, and then you gave the money and you lost it. Oh, Mark Prince says he has had. Please, if you're here and you've ever had a nasty experience that every time you hear you don't even wait for Rex before you take off. Someone says, I lost 300K, 400K. You don't even, Uncle says you lost her room. You hear, anytime you hear 4, you don't even wait for Rex. You are off. You say, no, I'm not interested. Man, nasty experience, why are people having very nasty experience? All right, so if you had a nasty experience with Forex, let me tell you what the problem. Ronke says she lost 500K. Let me tell you what the problem is. I had a nasty experience with Forex, still paying the debt. Wow, you're still paying the debt. So sad. Let me tell you what challenge. I lost 300K last year to a Bitcoin. Okay, if you're also here and you've had a nasty experience, Shalam says 500K back now. You've had a nasty experience with cryptocurrency. Now, we mentioned cryptocurrency, you've been listening to it. These guys don't know what they're saying. I'm not interested at all. You've had a nasty experience with cryptocurrency or Forex. I want you to also chat there that I've had a nasty experience with cryptocurrency. Now, let me say a few things before I begin to wrap up today. I'd like to say to you that when it comes to FX and crypto, what drives it is not greed, it's intelligence. Greed into that space, you will lose all your money. It's a very volatile space, especially the FX market. a lot of people in the FX market is greed. Because the truth of the matter is, whether we believe it or agree it or not, the FX market, when I say FX, I'm talking about the Forex market, is a huge market. It's still the largest market in the world today. It's still the largest market. And banks, top people invest heavily in crypto, in Forex market. In the Forex market, they trade with currency. It's just like their bookies does online. That's what it is. So you need to have understanding of it. Most of you gave money to certain people. And those people did not really invest in Forex. They didn't put the money in Forex. They were doing what's called a Ponzi scheme, and they were not investing. So what if, rather than give money to people directly, you have an understanding of how the FX market work, where you can directly take your 50K, your 10K, your 20K, and it's surprised you know that you can actually start with that, your 10K or 20K, and put in the FX market and see how trade. There is knowledge to it. Tomorrow we'll be having a top expert, someone that trades in the millions of naira, and he will be coming to show us step-by-step way to play in that market. Now, I don't want you to be afraid. We want to have an open mind, at least have an understanding. They will not be asking you to invest in anything. After all, eCooperative are not launched in. Will not be asking to do anything or do anything. Just have an understanding of how the FX market works. Like you just had an understanding of how the crypto market works. So when anybody comes to you and tells you that, invest money here, they'll do it for you. You say, can I have access to my account? Which market are they trading? You have more knowledge and you're not deceived anymore. Let me also say this, with all due respect to certain people who are investing, there's a certain one that is trending at the moment. And I have due respect for you. Somebody came and asked, when it first came out, someone told me, why don't you invest that they have a robot that you can invest money, you buy that robot, and after you buy the robot will help in the crypto, in your Binance, and so on and so forth. And I asked how much is the robot. He said the robot is $20, and then you now doesn't touch your trade. It will help you to trade and all of that. Now, for now, it is fantastic. What they have tell you is that the robot will need to be upgraded. What they have failed to tell you that the market's algorithm changes on a regular basis. What they have failed to tell you that the market doesn't work based on a strict routine. Today it is up, many factors can affect it, and the robot may not continually be able to read it. So there will be need for upgrades regularly. A time will come when they have cashed out from selling the robots, they will not be there anymore. So if you are in that business, you can enjoy the business while it lasts, but realize they are selling the robots just to make money. And there are a few persons who have already making as much money as you want to make it. So, and now they have introduced a network marketing part so that people can keep buying the robot and making money from buying. All right, so now why I don't disregard it, I'm trying to say that you've got to be smart. Rather than give money to allow a robot to trade for you in Binance, why don't you trade yourself? Why don't you learn the skills? Today I had to go into the market, Binance market, to trade. I did it myself. I didn't need a robot. I used my eyes. I picked my trade. The money I made it. The one I did not make, I left it. Why must you give your money to a robot to trade for you? Or the problem is greed. Tomorrow we're going to be learning how we can learn about Forex, and then basic knowledge. I think he will start on Tuesday and he will continue on Wednesday. And then I'm sure that by the time he's done, all those negative perceptions you have about the FX market will totally change and your eyes will open to possibilities. Financial intelligence is your ability to multiply money, and the FX market, you can actually multiply it if you know how. So the business I'm teaching you today, the eCooperative platform, is a massive platform, and it can help you to achieve the results that you're looking for. I don't know if you're new here, there's a business I'm involved in, and their core value is knowledge, which you're. But beyond that, they use a lot of the system. They use cooperative. They use, you can save. You can learn how to discipline yourself and save. You can sell on the cooperative because they have an e-commerce platform. You can do a lot of things on the cooperative. And you can also network marketing on the eCooperative platform. The entry amount, why I like it, that the entry amount is very affordable. It's just $4. It's just 2,000 naira. It's just 29 Ghana cedis, and you are good. You don't need to bring in $1 million naira or 120,000 naira. Anybody can enter the business. And the interesting thing about this business is that you don't have to give the money to anybody. You don't give the money to anybody. All you simply do is to a company or a company, you give the money to somebody who's already existing in the system. And that is very powerful about this business. All right. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is you. You are supposed to, you have 4 downlines. That's you there. To enter this business, you need to invest. Let's call this one Jane, Joe, Kate, and Philip. So to enter this business, you're going to give Joe or Jane 2K. All right. You also have to give at a certain point when you upgrade, you're going to give Joe 4K. And at a certain point, you have to give Kate 8K. You want to get to level 4, you're going to have to give, we call him Philip, right? Philip, you're going to give him 16K. Now, if you give Jane 2K, she activates you, you're going to get learning materials worth more than 2K, which you can download, plus access to the e-commerce, which you can upload your business and sell. And if that's what you want to enjoy, that's fantastic. But once you register with Jane, you're supposed to bring 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. You share your referral link to them. It's first person, A, B, C, D. And these 4 people will give you 2,000 naira each. When they give you 2,000 naira each of them, you're going to have 8K in your wallet. You're going to receive 8K directly paid to your account. All right. Now, because if you want to make more money, you can take from this 8K you have made and give Joe 4K. This 4K that you're supposed to give, you give it to Joe 4K. Once you've given Joe 4K, because you've activated your level 2, these 4 people are going to bring 4 persons each. 4 persons each. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. When these 4 people want to move to level 2, just like you gave Joe 4K, they are also going to give you 4K each. All right. When you multiply 4K by 16, you're going to have 64,000 naira. Now, these 16 people are going to have in the next third generation 64 legs. Going to have 64 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to have, all of them are going to have their 4 legs. So when the 64, because you gave 8K to Kate, this is 8,000 naira to Kate. These people that are 64 people, they will see your details, and each of them will give you 8K each, amounting to 512,000 naira. Because you're in level 3, you're going to receive quality materials worth that amount of money. And finally, these 64 people are going to bring 256 people in total. That is, each of them bringing 4 each. All right. Because you gave Philip 16,000 naira, when these 256 people want to move to level 4, just like you gave Philip 16,000 naira, they will see your details, and each of them will give you 16,000 naira, amounting to 4,096,000 naira. Now, if you total your 8,000, your 64,000, your 512,000, your 4,096,000 naira, you are going to earn 4,650,000 naira. Once your total amount of money will be 4,680,000 naira. Your upgrade cost, that is the 2K you gave to this girl, Jane, the 4K you gave to Joe, 4K, the 8K you give to Kate, and the 16K you give to Philip, all of them will amount to a total of 30K. When you subtract 30K from 4,680,000 naira, you're going to have 4,650,000 naira. You only began with just 2K. So it's a very simple system. And again, I want to say this, and I want to say this very clearly. It is not compulsory to do the network marketing part. I like to repeat that. For some people that say, oh, I don't like network marketing, so fine. You can join eCooperative and not do the network marketing part. On the 21st of this month, we're going to be launching the e-commerce part. For those of you who are interested in e-com, that can be your strength. You can also, you know what, I'll register my 2K and I'll just be involved in the e-com. All right. For some of you who like cryptocurrency, you want to save, you want to trade. All right. You say to yourself, you know what, I want to go and download. I want to have access to download and save in crypto by using the Bitnum app, and it's there on the platform. So these are the fantastic opportunities you get to enjoy. You get to enjoy savings, you get to enjoy e-commerce, you get to enjoy projects on the ecooperative platform. So anyone who invited you, go and meet them. They'll send you a video, they'll send you links, they'll send you stuff, and you can be part of this training. And one of the core values we have in the system is we drive you with knowledge. I thank you for your time, guys. I want you to take some questions. If you have any questions for me about what I just shared, I'd like you to quickly ask me as we call it a wrap for today. Please ask me your questions. I'll take questions now. I'll take questions. 1 or 2 questions.